In a small village in Okinawa, elders in their 80s and 90s rise with the sun, not to take pills, but to sit quietly in their gardens, feet on bare soil, faces tilted toward the sky. No hospitals, no prescriptions, just presence. And somehow they keep living, longer, happier, clearer. It makes you wonder, are we healing or just treating the symptoms? Are the pills helping us live or just helping us get by? You've likely been told that aging comes with pain, fog, and dependence. But deep inside, don't you feel there must be something gentler, something more natural, more human? Maybe your body isn't crying out for stronger medicine. Maybe it's simply asking for what it's always known: stillness, sunlight, touch, and earth. A Zen saying whispers, "Return to the breath," and the mind returns to peace. The same can be said for the body. When we return to nature, something soft within us begins to repair, effortlessly and without pressure. In this video, we'll explore 4 natural forms of medicine that have helped thousands of older adults, perhaps just like you, find real healing again. No complexity, no side effects, just the truth. So before we begin, take a breath and ask yourself, are you ready to heal differently, gently, deeply? If so, come with me. Let's remember what your body has always known. 1. Medicine of stillness. Your breath is the ultimate remedy. Not just calm you down, but change you from the inside out. There's an old Zen tale that comes to mind. A monk riddled with chronic pain had traveled far and wide searching for a cure. He visited healers, doctors, and temples. One day an old teacher said nothing, only sat with him and whispered, "Sit still and breathe as if your life depends on it," because it does. So the monk did, not for a day, not even for a week, but every morning before sunrise, he simply breathed, deeply, slowly, silently. After some time, his pain was not gone, but it no longer ruled him. He had found something medicine could not give him: peace inside the pain. And that, dear friend, is the medicine of stillness. It asks for nothing, but it gives everything. When we're young, breathing is automatic, but as life becomes busier and heavier, we forget how to be with our breath. We hold it, we tighten, we live in shallow patterns, and slowly, without realizing, we disconnect from the body's most ancient healing tool. Here's the twist. Healing doesn't always come from doing more, but from softening what's already there. Modern science now gently supports what Zen masters have known for centuries. Just 5 to 10 minutes of slow, conscious breathing reduces cortisol, the stress hormone that accelerates aging, weakens immunity, and clouds the mind. Deep breathing increases oxygen flow to the brain, lowers blood pressure, and resets emotional reactivity. But what's more important and more beautiful is what it does to your inner world. Think of your breath like the tide. When it's steady, your emotions rise and fall naturally. Nothing gets stuck. But when it's erratic, shallow, or forced, the tides crash and your inner shore becomes unsettled. And the longer that goes on, the more disconnected you begin to feel from yourself, from others, from the present moment. Breath is the bridge back. In psychology, there's a growing understanding that anxiety isn't just mental, it's physiological. The body tightens when the mind races. So when we begin by slowing the breath, we create a ripple effect that calms both mind and heart. It's like telling the nervous system, "You're safe now." And from the perspective of attraction and energy, when you breathe with presence, you enter a different vibration, one of calm, trust, and surrender. And when that's the energy you hold, That's what life begins to mirror back to you. Now let me share something personal. A few years ago, I went through a period of deep emotional exhaustion. No energy, no clarity. I tried everything, from supplements to sleep routines. Nothing truly worked. Until one day a teacher of mine said, "You don't need to fix your life. You need to sit with it and breathe." So I did. No phone, no music, no goal. Just breathe. Within days, my energy returned. Not because anything changed, but because I had changed. Stillness had done what medication couldn't. It had brought me back to myself. Now don't worry, I'm not asking you to meditate for hours in a robe on a mountain. Though hey, if you do, please send pictures. What I'm offering is far simpler and much closer. So right now, wherever you are, pause. Breathe in through your nose for 4 counts. Hold gently for 2. Exhale softly through your mouth for 6. Do that 5 times. Just 5. And tell me, did something shift? Even just a little? That is the beginning of healing. Not a breakthrough, but a return. Stillness isn't passive, it's powerful, and you already carry it within you. Now that you've felt the medicine of breath, let's explore the second medicine, quiet, ancient, and always beneath your feet, the healing power of the earth. 2. Medicine of grounding, how the earth can heal your body. What if feeling better was as simple as walking barefoot? No supplements, no prescriptions, just your bare feet and the earth that's always been there waiting. A quiet Zen saying goes, when you touch the earth, you touch your true self. I used to think that was poetic, but then I heard the story of an aging Zen master who had once been bedridden from fatigue and chronic joint pain. Instead of taking more herbs or retreating deeper into study, he began a humble daily practice, walking barefoot in the monastery garden at sunrise, rain or shine. After weeks, something shifted. His body grew lighter, his eyes are clearer, his steps are steadier. When asked what cured him, he simply replied, "The earth remembered me." And maybe that's what we've forgotten too. Many of us spend decades disconnected from the soil, wrapped in shoes, cement, routines, and restlessness. Yet our ancestors lived with their feet in the dirt, their hands in the garden, their breath in the wind. They didn't need studies to confirm what they felt, that the earth restores what life wears down. Today, science quietly confirms it. Earthing, or walking barefoot on natural ground, allows your body to absorb electrons from the Earth's surface. These electrons neutralize free radicals, reduce inflammation, and balance cortisol, the stress hormone that silently ages us. Grounding has been linked to better sleep, improved mood, lower anxiety, and even reduced chronic pain. But let's go deeper, beneath the skin. Psychologically, grounding does something subtle but profound. It makes us feel safe. Safe in our bodies, safe in the moment, safe to feel again. When you place your feet on the warm grass or cool sand, your nervous system remembers, I belong here. That sense of belonging is healing in itself. It softens the mind, relaxes the muscles, and reminds the heart it doesn't have to rush. From the perspective of energy and attraction, grounding anchors your frequency. When you're mentally scattered, emotionally anxious, or physically tense, your energy rises, like leaves blowing in the wind. But when you ground yourself physically, your energy descends. It settles, it roots, and from that stable place, you begin to attract calmness, clarity, and connection, naturally. Let me tell you a little story. A few years ago, I went through a season where my body felt like a stranger, tired, heavy, and out of sync. I didn't know what to do. On a whim, I started gardening barefoot. At first, it felt silly. Honestly, I kept checking to see if the neighbors were watching. But then, something changed. My sleep deepened. My thoughts quieted. Even my back pain, persistent for years, began to ease. And, as I often joke now, even my plants started growing better, probably because I was finally grounded. Healing, it turns out, wasn't about doing more. It was about returning to something simple, something sacred. Now, I'm not saying you have to walk barefoot through a forest tomorrow. Though if you do, send me a picture, I'll be proud. But maybe just for today, step outside, feel the earth beneath you, not with your shoes, with your soul. Let your body remember what the earth has never forgotten, that you are part of it. It supports you. It heals without asking anything in return. So here's your invitation. Today, take one barefoot step on grass, sand, dirt, or even just your wooden floor with intention. Notice how your body responds. Notice what softens. Because sometimes healing isn't about going somewhere new. It's about returning to where you started, with presence. And once you've reconnected with the ground beneath you, we'll turn our face upward toward the light, because your next medicine is already rising with the sun. 3. Medicine of light, healing through natural sunlight. Could sunlight be more healing than medicine? Not just good for your bones, but good for your heart, your sleep, your soul. Let me share a small Zen story with you. A young student once came to his master and said, "Master, I feel heavy in my chest. I don't know why. It feels like a sadness I can't name." The master didn't answer. He simply walked the student outside and pointed to the eastern sky just before sunrise. "Sit here," he said, "and do nothing but greet the light." And so the student did, each morning, for weeks. Until one day when the sun rose, so did his smile. He returned to the master and said, "The sadness is still there, but now it feels lighter, brighter, like it's part of something beautiful." That's the quiet medicine of sunlight. It doesn't erase pain, but it illuminates it. And in doing so, it transforms it. So many of us forget how vital light is, especially as we age, when the body slows and the heart grows tired of the dark winters, both outside and within. But the truth is, sunlight is not just warmth, it's information. It speaks to your cells, your hormones, your emotions, and its voice is healing. Gentle, natural light in the morning triggers the release of serotonin, the neurotransmitter that helps regulate mood and keep depression at bay. It also boosts your body's ability to produce vitamin D, essential for bone strength, immune health, and mental clarity. And perhaps most overlooked, sunlight resets your circadian rhythm, helping you sleep better at night and feel more energized during the day. But beyond biology, there's something subtler happening. From a psychological point of view, light is associated with hope. It brings a sense of rhythm, meaning, and gentle momentum. When you begin your day in darkness, physical or emotional, it's easy to feel stuck, unsure, or unmotivated. But when you start with light, something as simple as sitting by a sunny window, it signals to the mind, you're awake, you're alive, and this day is yours to shape. And from an energetic perspective, sunlight holds a frequency of clarity, presence, and joy. When you allow that frequency into your morning, you're setting your entire emotional tone. The law of attraction teaches us, like attracts like. A day that begins with light often continues with ease, softness, and serendipity. Now, I'll be honest. For years, I underestimated sunlight. I thought, hey, I get enough of it walking to my car. Until one winter I decided, half out of boredom, to start sitting in the sunlight for 10 minutes each morning. No phone, no book, just tea in the sun. And what happened surprised me. I didn't just feel warmer, I felt clearer, more peaceful, even kind of radiant. I joked with a friend, I think I've discovered solar-powered happiness. Of course, it's not magic. It's just nature doing what it always does, quietly, consistently, lovingly. So if you've been waking up feeling dull, anxious, or foggy, before reaching for the pill bottle, try reaching for the light. Sit near a window, step into your backyard, let the morning sun touch your face without rushing it, and don't worry if it's cloudy. Light still reaches you, even when hidden. Tomorrow morning, gift yourself just 10 minutes with the sun. No agenda, no multitasking, just be with the light. You may find, like the Zen student, that your sadness doesn't disappear, but it no longer defines you. Because sometimes the most powerful healing doesn't come from changing your circumstances. It comes from lighting up what's already there. And once your body begins to wake with the sun, it will crave something just as vital, human warmth. The next healing medicine is connection. Let's step into that together. 4. Medicine of connection. Why human touch is essential. What if the real medicine your heart needs is human connection? Not another appointment, not another prescription. Just a hand, a hug, a heartbeat close to yours. There's a Zen story I love, simple but unforgettable. A monk once fell into a deep depression after the loss of his teacher. He isolated himself, meditated alone, and avoided others. Still, his sorrow grew heavier. One day, an elder monk walked into his room without a word, sat beside him, and gently placed a hand on his back. They said nothing, but the tears came, and with them, relief. Later, the monk wrote, "It wasn't a lesson that healed me. It was a presence, a touch, a warmth I forgot I needed." In Zen, they say, a gentle touch is stronger than 1,000 words. We often underestimate the power of connection, especially in a world that praises independence and emotional self-reliance. But here's the quiet truth. We're wired to connect. Your body quite literally longs to be held. Let's talk about the science gently. Compassionate touch boosts oxytocin, the hormone that regulates emotional bonding and calms the nervous system. It lowers blood pressure, decreases levels of the stress hormone cortisol, and strengthens the immune system. And perhaps most importantly, it reduces feelings of loneliness, which researchers now say can be as dangerous to health as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. But it's not just biology, it's belonging. Touch fulfills one of the deepest human needs, to be seen, to be felt, and to feel safe again. When someone holds your hand, it's not just skin meeting skin. It's energy meeting energy, a soft reminder that you are not alone in this world. And energetically, in the lens of attraction and frequency, touch emits warmth. Loving touch radiates a vibration of openness and trust. And in turn, it draws similar energies back. Comfort, closeness, even unexpected opportunities for healing. Have you ever noticed how a sincere hug often dissolves an argument faster than an apology? I have. I used to think words were my strongest tool for helping others. But as I got older, I realized a silent embrace often heals more deeply than the most eloquent advice. A few years ago, during a retreat, I witnessed a woman in her 70s break down after sharing her story of abandonment. No one said anything, but one by one, others gathered around her. One placed a hand on her shoulder, another held her hand. She closed her eyes and whispered, "This is the first time I've felt safe in years." That moment wasn't therapy. It wasn't spiritual philosophy. It was human medicine. And here's something playful, I'll admit. I once had a bad day and hugged my dog for 5 straight minutes. He looked mildly concerned, but I swear, I felt like I just had a deep tissue massage from the universe. Sometimes healing comes with a tail and floppy ears. But all jokes aside, the message is simple. Touch is not extra, it is essential. Especially as we age, when we begin to feel invisible or untouchable. So here's a soft invitation for today. Place your hand over your heart. Just for a moment, feel your breath move beneath it. Feel the quiet rhythm of life still beating for you, or even better, offer a hug, a gentle pat, a warm hand to someone you love. Even the smallest touch can be a doorway to healing. And remember, connection doesn't always come through grand gestures. Sometimes it's a quiet presence, a shared silence, a single gentle hand. What if your healing has already begun and you simply didn't notice? Not because it was hidden, but because it was quiet, gentle, waiting. Let's take a moment to pause and breathe, just as we did in the beginning. You've walked with me through 4 simple, natural medicines, each one ancient, free, and profoundly powerful. You've rediscovered the healing in stillness, the way your breath becomes your anchor, your medicine, your silent protector. You've felt the grounding power of the earth, how one barefoot step can calm your racing mind and root your energy back to the present. You've welcomed the gift of light, not just through your skin, but through your spirit, reminding you that clarity is always just a sunrise away. And you've remembered the quiet truth of connection, that a gentle touch, even your hand on your heart, can do what words often cannot. Each of these is a form of medicine, not in the pharmaceutical sense, but in the original sense, that which brings you back to wholeness. And here's the twist. Most people will never return to these things, not because they don't work, but because they seem too simple. Imagine missing out on the most powerful healing of your life, simply because you were taught to overlook what was already within you. That's the tragedy. We rush to fix, to control, to medicate, and yet the breath remains patient. The earth remains steady, the sun keeps rising, and the body keeps whispering, slow down, come home. From the teachings of Zen, healing is not about removing pain, it's about remembering your true nature beneath it. There is a line I often return to. The flower does not bloom by force, it blooms because it remembers how. You are the same. From a psychological perspective, what truly nourishes us, especially in our later years, isn't more stimulation or distraction. It's deep presence, emotional safety, and rhythm. And every one of these medicines, breath, earth, light, and touch, gently restores those inner rhythms. Energetically, when you align with these natural forces, your body and mind begin to hum at a different frequency. Not one of urgency, but one of balance. That frequency becomes a magnet. It draws to you moments of ease, people who feel like home, and days that unfold with grace rather than struggle. Now let me speak from the heart, just as a fellow traveler. You don't need perfection to heal. You don't need to do everything right. You simply need to reconnect with what has always been yours. And believe me, I've made all the mistakes. I've ignored my breath. I've skipped the sunrise. I've pushed away hugs because I was fine. But healing never left me. It waited. And when I finally returned, it welcomed me like I'd never left. Maybe you felt disconnected lately. Maybe your body doesn't move the way it used to. Maybe you've forgotten what vitality feels like. That's okay. Healing doesn't care how far you've drifted. It only cares that you begin again. So today I ask you gently, which of these natural healers will you embrace first? Will it be the breath? Will it be a quiet moment with your bare feet on the grass? Will it be the sunlight on your face tomorrow morning? Or the touch of your hand, reminding your heart that you are not alone? There's no right choice, only the one your soul leans toward. So here we are, full circle. You've remembered the quiet power of stillness, the grounding wisdom of the earth, the life-giving energy of sunlight, and the heart-opening truth of human connection. These aren't just concepts. They are living medicines, always within reach, patiently waiting for you to return. True healing doesn't only come from pills or procedures. It comes from listening inward and softening outward, from giving your body space and trusting that it knows how to come back into balance when it's supported by nature, not just controlled by systems. And let me remind you gently but clearly, you are never too old, too late, or too broken to begin again. Healing is not a deadline, it's a remembering. So I ask you, which of these natural healers will you welcome today? A breath, a barefoot walk, a few rays of morning light, a gentle hand held just a little longer? If this message touched your heart, share your experience in the comments. Let someone else know they're not alone. And if you're ready to walk this path with others who feel the same, subscribe and let's keep healing gently together.